Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for the third game of this World Scrabble Championship Final 2017. In the commentary booth for you again are myself, Brett Smitherham, Chris Light, Jason Keller and Paul Allen. So far it's been a romper-stomper of a final. Certainly David Eldar has the momentum going into this third game. Harshan has played... He's played well and he's played within himself, but there have been a couple of phonies which really have been quite pivotal in these games. But we know him. I've known him personally now for about 18 years, so I know he's a very capable player and can certainly pull out the results when necessary. So the game is by no means over, and Harshan will be starting the game in this third in the sequence, which is an instant advantage in any case.
Yeah, and it's important after the first two matches that Harshan had to take the lunch break, clear your mind, and come back to the board just solely focused on the task at hand. You have to play your own game. You have to not doubt yourself after having played those two phonies, and just listen to the voice in your head that tells you if something's good or not.
Yeah. And I was discussing with Terry Crane-Rao as we went for the break that this could also be something like a rain delay at a tennis tournament where he can take the time to just regroup, and we'll see what happens.
Certainly the break came at a good time for Harshan.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
Yeah. So it's always good if you feel like you've had a bad game for that bad game to happen at the end of the session, so then you can perhaps hopefully not have to marinate in it for too long.
Also gives David a chance to think about what he's just about to accomplish.
Yes. So
Harshan has a few options here. Personally, I have fond memories of playing over as my first play in a World Championship final. I'm looking at the board now. Over is actually simming very highly as well as a play at 8F. What he doesn't know, however, is that David needs a floating O for Asinikos.
Presumably as a Cornishman you didn't like Devon very much.
No, this is very true. They have
several levels.
On many levels. I think the other option there might have been veined to maximise the score, but
it had to be over. Right?
It had to be over. Over as well, keeping the N for the hook.
How about Avo? Subtle difference.
I mean, it's a subtle one, but you're keeping the N for the hook, so I'd always try to maximise that. David, as expected, instantly plays Asinikos. Great rack to be going second with.
Yeah. He's no idiot.
Can't see Harshan's rack at the moment. I know he's got tonged. I think he might have tonged with a T.
yes, that is his rack.
I think he had another a double T.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. Clunky rack. These are the kinds of racks that are quite challenging for Scrabble players because it's close to being really, really strong as a bonus rack, but that duplicate T is causing problems. But Harshan's now 52 down, so he needs to be scoring something while not ruining the rack.
Got a nice lead, but
Maybe
the
some
kill of floaters.
could play like doting through the eye in Asinikos.
Toad down the side of Asinikos from E2 scores 28, keeping NT.
That does horrible things to the board, though.
Yeah, true.
Actually, the got looks better because it'll leave a dent. It will leave him all the hooks off over, and it'll be quite restrictive for most racks.
He's playing dotting. I'm not sure like dotting.
He's gotten rid of a lot of bonus potential there.
And he's set up the J.
Yeah, I would have played doting and
Doting,
keep TE,
Yeah.
and that leaves the
Yeah.
board at least the most open. It starts to develop the upper right side, and it does all that.
Well, certainly, the average score for the opponent will be vastly more with dotting than for got, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And your average score will be less,
Yes.
I
But
think.
it
So it
looks
loses on
like-
both counts,
Yeah.
I think. It's a sort of old-fashioned turnover move.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason for David not to play Hadji here unless he sees something significantly better. But Hadji scores 50, puts him 80 in front
Mhm.
after 2 moves. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a pretty
Yeah.
nice position to be in. Or is he just going to play Hadji?
Hadji
Ah.
holding the
Ah.
H.
Yeah.
the
That's
H.
Alan
Yeah.
Simmons type move.
Yeah,
I call it.
that's-
He does that something quite a lot.
And that is, that is a nice leave. There's synergy. You have a ready-made H play.
Yeah.
You can play it. You have Poe next turn for a decent score if you don't draw anything. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's very unlikely to be taken.
Right.
So he's guaranteed himself that hefty score for Poe.
Because I mean, what is Harshan going to do there unless he has the other H?
Yeah, or some weird off play on ad.
Yeah,
Or through ad.
if he has
Caddy or
caddy,
something.
right?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, caddy will set up maybe an H play down the other
Mhm.
side. You're really not going to play a horizontal 2B play for like 20 points. And even if he does in the really off chance, PHAO has some synergy. It has more balance than playing the H. So that's interesting.
So he's guaranteed himself 38
Yeah.
if he got a bad rack, which in fact he's.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened.
Yeah. Although the 38 will not solve the bad rack.
Right.
But that's because he's been very unlucky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Harshan eyeing up ticks E4 down, which is a very good move. BLATE, strong synergic keep. Ticks is also looking at simulation, simming by far the highest. The other 2 options at the top of the tree are Tex and Tax in the same position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that has to be the play.
Mhm. Immediately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it worked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, AOUV.
We'll see. If you
We'll see.
if you draw really well, it can turn
Yeah.
into something.
On the board, it's horrible though, because it's not going to bonus, and it's not likely to lead to any score on this board.
I'm quite liking the look of auto vac across the top of dotting. What's Harshan's final tile?
Is
Looks
that-
like an O.
Oh.
Okay. So Harshan has been unlucky again. He doesn't have a bingo. Board is poor. I quite like the look of blog.
Yeah.
How about lob? Lob a do job.
Lob would do a job. Oh, sorry, lob I do job. I see what you mean.
Yes. But Lob would do a job.
Yeah,
Lob
lob is interesting, and and it
Mhm.
does develop an area that's currently not developed.
And it's going to really restrict David's scores. I mean, it's only got the L and a bonus to really score anything from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you restrict his scores by playing onto the G though.
Yeah, blog is probably the standard play, but
Mm.
lob, I think, lob is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the disadvantage of lob is that if you're playing for a bingo, you are leaving the L to play from and keeping an L. It's not exactly.
I'm more thinking of a 7,
Mm.
hooking off the S or the A. Oval. Don't suspect as much in the same would say.
No, blog edges. Lob I think was third.
Okay.
But again, very very close. So David, David really reaping, I guess, the reward of that AVOU keep. I mean, BP, negative synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah. BV has become one of my least favorite two-tile combinations. It's bad enough as it is, but
It's difficult to see how to offload two of them for anything meaningful. I mean, the obvious full left play is Bapu, but if you play Bapu at H9, I mean, that's...
it's not
Yeah,
particularly constructive.
that's not really the sort of play you want to make here,
Yeah.
as far as board development goes.
Mm-hmm.
What about playing just Love from the L blog? I mean,
Still he's BP.
Bapot is horrible, but in terms of board control,
Well, it blocks the OLB starters. And
Yeah.
if Harson's got a lovely rack, he would play off the B.
yeah, exactly.
It's going to restrict that. I don't think there is a good move, and it's as good as anything.
You're not going to score that much more than 14, no matter what you do.
It's pretty
actually-
can't play an ob,
it
Pob
actually-
or Vob or Tob.
Yeah. Love actually scores one more than Bapu.
Even VOT isn't brilliant. And of course, Bapu then creates an opening onto the triple, enables theoretically Harshan to score more. So if he doesn't have a bingo, he's got he can keep momentum.
Surprised Lovett's simming that well.
Yeah, Love is actually simming clear best at the moment with Lovat through H from H2 next, which I guess could create something.
I don't think many players would play Lovett.
Lo-
Yeah. Would
yeah,
give away to the triple.
Love it is weird.
That's why I'm surprised it's simming so well. I think Love's
Yeah.
way superior. So what will he be thinking about? Is he considering love? Is he looking for something?
Do we have any thoughts from the chat room?
There's been a suggestion of obs off of the S, which is kind of interesting. It does get rid of the BV combination.
Right.
It's only 9 points. He does have the OBV set up in his rack. That would just be at 90.
Keeping Tapu. I like keeping
Tapu.
Well, it gives a floating O.
Yeah,
Gives-
and also just the score back to
Yeah.
the triple is going
Z
to be
or
larger.
You're not
So,
you're not really putting him on a Z though.
Yeah.
I mean, from the last move.
Yeah,
you're-
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
And he's got 3
Ops
tiles to
has
pick up
been
Z.
played.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's what he does.
Was that in Sim?
Obs was quite a bit down
Yeah.
actually. Obs was about the 10th choice.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
The sim isn't doing any inference, which because I think the negativity of would largely be the Z, which as Chris says he probably didn't have the
Yeah.
right before. So
Uh,
David will be
Yeah,
thinking
he's-
deeper than the sim is.
Yeah.
And of course he's picked up upstate.
Upstate.
Yeah, be taking a trip upstate and perhaps.
Upstate doesn't play though
No.
Nope.
yet.
It's quite likely to.
Oh, well, maybe
Yes.
not. Not plays
I won't
off.
say who, but somebody.
Feta. Actually, Feta wouldn't.
Oh. Feta? A little bit more score.
Feta's the best score, but would you bank on lot? I suppose there are so many E's. I mean, there isn't an E on the board yet, so maybe keeping the E is devalued by what's left to come.
Yeah, and he's got the L for oval and things. That's going to be hookable anyway.
And the thing is, again, in this situation, he mustn't panic. He mustn't start thinking, I have to bingo. I mean, he's 67 down, but it's only 67.
And there's still a lot out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Feta, unless there's a bonus, there's not a lot of score coming here.
No. Feta is the best score and actually Sim's highest as well.
Yeah.
And he's taking it off again. Okay. Interesting.
And
Did he,
back.
he showed him that he's got Feta though, didn't he? Okay.
Yeah.
and he put it back.
Okay.
Yep. Yes.
There we are.
So, by the way, Chris Lipe is not from upstate New York. He's from central New York.
It's part of upstate, yeah. It's my ancestral homeland. Way, way upstate, where it never stops snowing.
Harshan has done exactly what he needed to, which was draw out a couple of those E's. He's now sitting there with Aero Light down from the A.
Yes.
Or Trolley across or below, top or under, above or below the A of over. David doesn't have a playable bingo. Upto, which he's about to put onto his rack, or actually he's rearranging upstate. Upto would play quite nicely actually underneath OBS for 20 points, keeping a very strong EST. Played, yeah.
Yep, that seems to work.
Best play for score and leave, and you would expect Harshan to play Aerolite immediately. Is there any benefit to playing any of the other bingos? When it scores 16 points more than the second choice.
No contest.
Should he be bingo averse, he has fluorite through the F and the U.
Yeah.
Interestingly, with zero inference, Quackle then gives him a 52% chance of winning.
I think just play bingo.
Okay, but he needs to see Aerolites. Let's not be playing Trolley, Harshan.
Yeah.
Particularly if you create a position for Quest.
Sort of thing he will never miss if he actually looks for it.
Yeah.
But I think I missed. It might have even been exactly the same situation. It was a Farley bonus from the 8.
Yeah.
Very much the same situation because I never even looked.
And it was
only
at
slightly
the U.S.
inferior,
Nationals. I had a few opponents who very frustratingly beat me despite missing 8-letter bingos from the tile in the center of the board.
Don't play Trolley. No.
Oh no!
No.
He's pausing.
He's pausing.
Oh no. Oh
He's
dear.
done the same thing.
That's a terrible, terrible mistake if he leaves it. He's pressed his clock.
Oh
dear.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Tragedy has struck.
That is.
I remember doing exactly the same thing because you focused on it being hook, the A hook.
But
and he hasn't even, well, I presume he hasn't even considered because he'd never miss it.
Yeah.
That's,
and I mean, it is a
mentally
block. Like,
bypass the possibility.
So
you're looking at a 4-vowel rack, and then you don't look at a vowel on the board.
Yes.
Well,
I bet he looked at the B. He looked at the B to double check there wasn't a B bonus before playing truly.
Yeah, that's well.
I mean, it's not over, but it's harder.
He's now 75 behind from being he should have been in the front in lead. Harshan, you need to pick a bingo.
Yeah. Right
But
now.
there's one consolation. He doesn't know he's made that mistake. at the moment.
Not
At the
yet,
moment.
but if
It's
it
all-
hits him,
Yeah.
No, he'll be carrying on with the game for now. It may put it once he realises it's at the end of
and
the game.
that rack.
That looks very familiar
Yeah.
from my tournament.
Oh.
That.
Zonk.
Zonk is the only real. Well, Zoe, would he play Zoe? I suppose the benefit of playing Zoe is you're keeping the
Yeah.
NG to go through the eye of Trolleys.
It's got to be one or the other, isn't it?
And actually, keeping the N as well, you've got potential to come down from
Yeah.
the U, or even things like flunking or anything through that FL, the FU.
Keep the end for conquest. Low probability, but you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's tiny.
which he may pass up
Advantage.
in order to play quad, as he did in his semi-finals
Yeah.
against Austin Shin.
Is someone doing commentary?
World and
Oh, it's not spoken.
Yeah. So he's opted to play DZO. I think it keeps the only synergy he can really out of that rack. 42 behind. It's not over yet, but he really could have made things easier for himself in this situation.
He needs to draw some vowels.
He has to
Yeah.
draw some vowels. I mean, basically, Harshad now has to get lucky.
Oh, he's got one that's so much better than no vowels.
Yeah.
Yeah, because maybe he can play off just enough tiles to get into the next rack.
Yeah.
I quite like Weenie for David here down the side of Quest,
Which is also going to block Harshan's moves.
blocking the eye. Yeah. Sim is favouring slightly Weenie spelt with IE in that situation. But as we all know, Sims don't really take defence as much into account as they need to. So with that, David takes an 84-point lead.
It's blocked Harshan's Meek, which would presumably have been his play or something similar.
I mean, David is drawing bad tiles, so he's not getting as much of a head of steam as he could at this point. So that's one advantage.
If David's able to get Philly Eye down, that'll constrict the board nicely. It leaves the vertical opening in K column to develop the bottom of the board off the eye, but that should be manageable. A bonus there will open a 9-timer, and a shorter play should lead to an opening that'll be manageable to deal with.
Yeah. Harshan looks like he has Madge lined up on his rack at B2, which looks pretty good to me. It's one of the best scores that's available.
Yeah, and now that the I in Trolley is blocked, the NG combination has much less value. So getting rid of the G will be a good
For Inkle,
good thing to do.
I think it's been notable that David's been playing fairly, apart from maybe the OBS play, he's been playing fairly swiftly in this.
Yes.
Harshan needs to make sure that he doesn't also find himself the underdog on time.
10 minutes, is it?
Yeah, Harshan's getting down towards 10 minutes, and there's still
Quite a way to go.
That's a
Still,
significant number
30.
of tiles still
Yeah.
a
out.
third of the tiles are in the bag.
David has 16 and a half minutes.
Problem is that this vowel trouble could continue,
Yeah.
so that might need some more working on, so it's extra time you're going to burn up.
He's considering Meng at M10 by the look of it, which, in the name of keeping the board open, is worth a look. It creates the N floater. Meng also takes E on the back ends to make Menge.
It's an extra tile turnover to get
Extra
an extra
vowel,
vowel.
try to get a vowel. Potentially also with the KLD, you've got a 40. Oh, he's played meld.
Meld.
Oh,
Okay.
Same
Yeah.
idea.
same
Yeah.
idea. No floating I.
Mhm.
I would prefer that if the I were still floating to go with the NG.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's 17 vowels on scene to Harshan out of 35 tiles. So the pool is slightly vowel heavy. He should be drawing some vowels, even despite the 5 on David's rack. The without an S, the opening created by Meld is a bit awkward. If you hit something into the D, it's an air ball. Hitting an AL ending bingo, okay, but with a G, it doesn't really work. Yeah.
Decent pick for Harshan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent pick, good pick, but does it do anything?
Well, maybe not immediately, but there's
Yeah.
plenty. That's
There's-
bailed him out,
it's-
that pick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
think how bad it could have been.
he
Keeping KNG.
needs it to be immediate. This is the problem now. I suppose having said that, what's David
Well,
going to do? He's got Philly.
How's he going to block the B without
Yeah.
effectively missing a turn?
Yeah, the B is going to be open for quite a while.
Yeah.
What about,
Yeah, L
what about
for-
Finny? Fini from K2.
Yeah.
That looks. And
Yeah.
actually, as I've said, that's come up. It's
Yeah.
risen to the top of the sim,
Yeah.
but that kills that quadrant
Yeah.
pretty much. Solves his rack.
Yeah.
Philly, which people would naturally look at as the balance, is foolhardy because you're creating a double slot across the
Yeah.
top of the S, which across the top of the F, which you don't want to be doing at this point. I really like Finney.
I think it's a move where the best move, a situation where the move depends on the score,
Yeah.
and
Certainly.
you do something completely different if the margin is behind or ahead.
Mm.
The thing with killing the B is if Harshan hits the B, there's really no comeback. Like, that's it. The top of the board is exhausted, and he's scored 80 something points for the bonus. Leaving the bottom of the board open, if Harshan hits something row 11 into the E, it's going to be about 75 points ish, and it's going to further develop row 12 to hook underneath, and there are some plays down the H column to the triple and things like that. Oh, he plays indie.
Wow. Interesting. Why? Did that surprise everybody else as much as it did me?
That's I
Yeah.
didn't consider that, but I actually really like it. You're drawing the inference that Harshan didn't keep any other heavy tiles. Of course, he did keep the K. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
'Cause
Maybe his inference of Mel was that it was opening for bonus,
Yeah.
Wow.
and then therefore would have light tiles. So unless he's picked them up in the 4-pick, he's not going to take use of the E.
Yeah, you're not really inferring the K there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why wouldn't you play like milk, right? Yeah,
Yes. So it's kind of
Or you'd play something starting in the K
yeah.
and hook Kai. And if there's a W, you'd play mule, and if there, all kinds of things like that.
But then he has got 4. Even if he did it to open with light tiles, he's got 4 tiles to pick up a scoring tile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about the opening with the I is if you play above the I, that's an air ball, and if you play below the I, it's not only an air ball, but it opens up parallel plays on row 15. So that bingo opening with the I is not it'll be difficult to deal with, but it's yields low scoring bingos and stuff with good comebacks.
In the meantime, Kero is definitely the best player in that kind of situation. David having picked out the first blank.
And Evans on the.
And Harshan has breading,
Yeah, amongst
bearding.
reading and writing.
Yeah, on the chat, Evans Clinchy also points out that Indy sets up a spot for David's F to score, and David's ahead, and he's holding, he's not holding a keep that's going to lead to a bonus, so he's going to try and open up things that'll allow him to score with his tiles. Makes the F more valuable by opening up a place to score well with it.
But isn't Harshan very likely to use it?
And not if he has a bonus.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you can count a bonus after meld.
No.
There's a particular reason to.
And if Harshan doesn't have a bonus, then you go and you do something else, and you're still about even from where you were.
Certainly unorthodox, but
There are only 30 points in it now, which, considering the how badly the early part of the game went for Harshan, is a lot closer than you'd expect. Does Dave play Wifely now through the L? Having not addressed that part of the board, does he start doing it partially? 38 keeping R blank, surely must be...
that's nice.
I mean, it won't address breading, so he will be down after the next move. With the other blank unseen, quite importantly.
Is there anything other than Wifely that makes sense?
Well, if he goes mad and plays Lifeway, if he's burning the blank, it would block, but it's still bonusing. It's a box.
Yeah.
But he'd have to go off his head to do that.
I'm going to add that into the simulation.
Be distinctly bottom.
He'd be having a whale of a time with the right floaters there.
There are a lot of
Free
suggestions
Willy,
in the chat of Wadi at B2.
Yeah, taking out the spot next to Pa, which is the, is
It's
the
a good
it's the
score.
second in the sim at least.
Behind Wifely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to be Wifely.
At this point, playing more tiles, scoring a few more points.
Restricts the L. The bonus might be off the L. You never know.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Now Harshan should play this as quickly as he possibly can, because there is no... There is absolutely no question that breading and bearding need to be played. Is there any reason to choose one or the other?
doubles. No, really.
Just an homage to a former champion who played
Yes.
bearding.
Yeah, very true. So he's played bearding. Dave has picked out a bingo, but importantly he hasn't picked out the second blank. So with that, Harshan takes a 24-point lead. Dave holds corrals, 74 across from a bar, or carols. Corrals and carols also play for face value more or less under and above the eye of Indy. We said earlier on that a certain pickup was important. I think Harshan's pickup now is
very important. Yes.
critical. And actually, the unseen tile pool is not bad. A, 3 E's, OOUU, yeah, GHMNR blank.
And that reads exactly 7 in the bag, right?
Yeah. So
So David's bingo's going to empty on the number.
Yeah.
And if Harshan bingo's out, then we'll have one more round to bring you, at least.
Dave, did he hold on that? He must have held on that.
Yeah.
Is it worth him passing the bonus?
He's 24 points adrift, but he will get the bonus next move. But he's played it
Played it right away. Okay.
instantly. He's played Carrel's.
I just wonder. I mean, because it's
down to this. What is
With
Harshan pulling? What is Harshan pulling?
I'm surprised he played so quickly, David.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, I suppose it's worth taking
it's-
time to
yes, to
consider
consider
whether or
whether-
not,
yes.
because you're emptying the bag.
Because the bag's quite good.
But
He's got the blank. He's got a lead. If they both bonus, if he plays and they both bonus, he's going to win.
Right.
In this situation, if they both bonus, he loses.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think there can't be a lot of mileage in him not bonusing there.
But as it
it's
is,
turned out-
the guys do not know this, but we do indeed have our 2017 World Scrabble Champion in the form of David Eldar. It again, as has happened in so many of these games, it has come down to the last pick from the bag.
Yeah.
And often, unfortunately, it comes down to timing of that pick. Harshan has managed to miss the goodies.
Yeah, it's a replication of the Gautam one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did. I remember in the interview he did say, did he consider passing the bonus? And he said, "Well, not at this stage in the World Championships." So that's just what we're talking about. He's done it again, and he's made it. He doesn't seem like an analyst. He's one whose instinctive understanding of the game is so deep that you can often make the right decision without going through the permutations. So maybe he's done it again.
Yeah. He seems to have a pretty gut feel for what's likely and what's unlikely.
Yeah.
I still think he could have. That's his gut feeling.
Yeah.
He could have gone through the permutations and then said, "I'm going with gut feeling."
Harshan has challenged. I think he
Yeah, he has
challenged
to. He has
Carl's.
to. Yeah, because he's lost otherwise.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that.
Especially now that he's seen his
Yep.
tiles.
Yeah, right thing to do. What else can you do?
Yeah. Harshan does not have a play of any reasonable note now.
Is there anything he can do that wins to a phony, for example?
He's 55 points behind.
Yeah, but you could win to a phony if David thinks he's won and does some
If he,
careless champagne move.
So what's the 3, 6, 7, 8? So 30. Even though to go out and score 35. I'm sure there
That's
must be.
the only thing I'd be thinking.
Yeah.
Plays it too quickly, transposes the tiles. It's
Yeah, I mean,
all
if-
you can possibly do.
If he plays, say, Ho and Doff and High next to Wifley, David plays a phony, he goes out with green and then's on count back. I am sure there are millions of them.
Of ways to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, in that context, it would probably be the best thing to do is to play the worst of them. So David thinks he can't even lose with a phony.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, Dave has missed out on the opportunity which I had hoped to gain when I won my world final, which was to have the blank as my final tile and play it onto a blank for
nothing.
0 points and out.
But he's got the luxury of leaving a message. He can play pretty much whichever word he likes.
Yeah.
It's a nice luxury. As long as it's not funny.
Yeah.
Well,
3.
Well, I was looking for. It doesn't seem that he has any 4-letter words that he's liberally used in interviews to play on the board.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid this final game, the trolley mistake, is going to turn into being a critical one. Such a massive tournament.
You know, it's obviously an error, but our perspective is skewed by the fact that we know that David's sitting with Quest.
Yeah.
Of how bad. In terms of how high probability it was, it's a bad error. But in terms of the loss to Quest,
yeah,
it's It's
he
not
got
obviously that bad an error.
he got hit with one of the worst
Yes.
case scenarios.
Yes. But
But it was a scenario
those
that
tend-
shouldn't have happened.
Indeed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's still a pretty serious error.
But
yeah, those do tend to happen sometimes when you do make those errors.
Yeah.
Actually, probably more often when you do those.
But it's a shame. He's played very strongly,
Yeah.
except for the 3 distinct errors.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
single error in each of the games.
Oh yeah.
If David does play the blank for 0 points, does it lose?
It's a very good question about whether it also classifies as a move, because I haven't yet had this, because I'm sure a move is classified as something that plays a tile and scores points, and then you have the argument about is 0 points. So you wouldn't want to risk that if your opponent then challenges it for not being a move.
It does say 3 consecutive moves of 0.
Of 0,
from each player.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
supposing you hadn't checked the bag and there's 100 blanks.
Yes, yeah. Oh no, but then you play bingos, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they all score 50.
Yeah, they all score 50.
Until you ran out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Space.
exactly. But I think he might play HE, because it would win
With Tofoni.
with a phony.
Yeah. Well, that's all he's got to
Yeah.
do. That's all he's got to do. In fact, I think, I'm clutching at straws here, he should have played really quickly something that did that.
Yeah,
Because David thinks, I've won.
yeah.
He's got time to compose himself now
Yeah.
and decide what he's going to play.
Yeah.
He's not going to rapidly try and get 5 seconds of more time as world champion.
Yeah.
Of course, it's in Brett's interest.
That's a very
if they
good
run
point.
down their
Harshan,
clocks.
take your time. Brett Smith, world Scrabble champion, is saying this. Did I mention that I'm the world champion?
I don't think you mentioned it, Brett.
No. So I am world champion still. Look at those non-world champions there sweating over this game.
David's going to get his own back when he comes in.
I remember back before I was world champion. Actually, no, I don't. It was such a long time ago. I wonder if it'll ever change. No, I think
Is right. Okay, we've given up on this. We know there's nothing.
we know.
Right.
We know
This is the
that-
sort of thing I do.
yeah.
I go for the most feasible bonus I can put on the board.
Yeah, can you pronounce it? All right, let's
I'll
do
put
it.
down things you can't.
There
pronounce.
is Gorhen with an extra E.
Goryhen.
Yeah.
Gorhen, you're quite right. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be exciting,
Well,
wouldn't it?
again, you've got to try. Well, the only 2 options are
Yeah.
David phoning some ridiculous. So go for 9 or something.
Yeah, but David is definitely going to. David's definitely going to challenge.
Of course.
You have to let him play a phony. You can't
Yes,
let
that's
him insta
well.
challenge.
Yeah, that's the more likely way.
Because David, it's in David's interest to challenge anything that Maharshan plays now.
But you see, I don't
At
think.
all.
Yeah, some players, they would hate to play the equity losing move, even if it was the deciding move at World Championship. I don't know
Yeah.
David that well, but I don't think he is. I think he'll be happy to take
Yeah.
the starting world title, and he will
Yeah.
play. He will play
Yeah.
Mo or anything he likes to win.
So he's played Huron. It's a decent play, but it won't win even with a phony.
Well, that's what he's got to do, surely.
Yeah.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but suppose David does phony.
You're quite right. Yeah.
Out of respect for Brett, to give him the last couple minutes, it's it's the only respectful thing
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah. Here we go. So what's he playing?
Fairly straightforward. Yeah.
I can-
Is that probably best equity as well, isn't it?
I've not even put it in. Let's have a look. No, actually,
Oh, he's not a worthy world champion.
Oh well, yeah. Let's
Oh,
cancel this whole thing. We gotta.
You're still world champion.
Yeah,
He
awesome.
he
Yes,
hasn't-
go me.
How much equity did he lose?
But for people at home, actually, Amadou was the equity
yes.
play in that
He's-
situation.
What a weak world champion.
Yeah, it's just, I frankly am sick.
But
How did it come to this?
Yeah.
The world of Scrabble is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a new World Scrabble champion. He is undoubtedly
Yes.
the best player not to have yet won. David Eldar, hailing from Australia. currently resident in London, has just beaten Harshan Lamabada Surya 3-0 in the final. It's what all the cool kids are doing these years. We'll look forward to getting the two of them in after they've had their wash up. I think we need to give them a little bit of respect now, just to sort out in their heads what's happened. And I think Harshan needs to take away from this just not worry about it too much. You can let these things get you really down. Everybody makes mistakes. Probably mistakes contributed in getting to the final. So. Yeah, swings and roundabouts, but not to detract anything from David Eldar. He has played brilliantly and consistently throughout the tournament. He beat me in a playoff for the 8th position in the top 8. Brackets, I beat him 2 straight games before that. But a fantastic win and an extremely worthy world champion. We will be back shortly, hopefully, to get thoughts from the world champion and the world championship runner-up. And in other news, in case you haven't heard, the scoring resumed over in the 3rd place playoff, with Austin Shin defeating Gautam Jayaraman 2-1 in the 3rd place playoff. So hopefully we will get a chat to them as well. Very, very well done to everybody.